April 11th, 1948, from the Middle East. It was announced today that two Bedouin goat herders discovered numerous ancient scrolls in caves near the Dead Sea. Many of the scrolls are believed to be about 2,000 years old. Now, other news from around...
Wow, what a fantastic discovery. Hi, I'm Dale Manor, and it's discoveries like the Dead Sea Scrolls that keep fueling my passion to go back every year to find things that archaeology brings to light and that are so important. Archaeology is like finding a time capsule from the past that opens our eyes to the history of the people, their lives, and their times. One archaeological find that's received a lot of publicity in the news is Hezekiah's bulla. A bulla is a seal impression that is left when a scarab is pressed into the clay and usually is used to give an official air to a document. This one was discovered by Dr. Eilat Mazar in her work at the Ophel excavations just outside of the walled city of Jerusalem. The seal actually reads, belonging to Hezekiah, son of Ahaz, king of Judah. As we consider other things associated with Hezekiah, there are certainly a number that we could point to. The Assyrian king Sennacherib writes about his battle against Hezekiah on the Taylor Prism. This one is found in the Oriental Institute Museum in Chicago. One of the highlights of most everybody's trip to Israel and Jerusalem is to go through Hezekiah's tunnel. This is a tunnel built to bring water from the outside of the city into the walled city of Jerusalem, and it's an amazing engineering feat. The tunnel is 1,750 feet long, and workers began at each end working toward one another through solid stone, and like Diamond Rio's song, they met in the middle. The Siloam inscription records what took place as the stonecutters got closer and closer and finally finished the tunnel. When we look at the life of Hezekiah, he certainly was someone worthy of imitation. Matter of fact, the Bible describes him in very glowing terms. 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 5. He trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel, so that there was none like him among all the kings of Judah after him, nor among those who were before him. Biblical archaeology has helped me as a minister to understand things that go on in the biblical text 2, 3, 4,000 years ago, and to illuminate those things and help me better convey the message to readers and to listeners today. One of the fascinating things to happen in an excavation is to find an inscription, and here we have a reproduction of an inscription from the northern city of Dan, which preserves the oldest indisputable reference to David that's been found outside of Scripture. One of the peculiar items in the museum are these chalk vessels. In the 1st century BC and AD, the Pharisees had figured out that the Old Testament prescribes that if a dead animal falls on a ceramic vessel, that's supposed to be broken. But they noticed the text didn't say anything about stone vessels, and so these chalk vessels serve as the substitute.
When we understand how these people lived, their culture, their world, we will understand the message of God for His people even more fully.
When we discover vessels like this one from Tel Bet Shemesh, which we refer to as a lamelic storage jar, we understand better how people stored and transported grain in the ancient world. Here we have an example of what's known as a bakbuk. And in Jeremiah chapter 19, it's one of these that Jeremiah is supposed to go and purchase. And he's instructed to go to the potter's gate and bust it into the presence of the leaders of Judah and make a declaration that just like these broken pieces of pottery cannot be put together again into a usable vessel, in similar fashion, unless Judah repents, they too would be broken and not be able to be restored. One of the reasons I really like archaeology is it's just fun. It's exhilarating to look at something and realize that you're the first person in thousands of years to uncover this and to touch it. This mud brick was made in about 1400 BC, and the person who made it drug his finger across here as sort of a kind of signature of his creation. And I can follow the tracks of his signature and feel like it's like reaching across time and shaking hands with the person who made this.